The Zephyrian High Council had made what they believed to be a calculated decision. Among the debris of the mining vessel Endeavour, they had found one survivor, a young human engineer named Marcus Chen. The ship had strayed into contested space, and by galactic law, they were within their rights to detain him. One human, Commander Vextal clicked through his mandibles. Hardly worth the effort of a prisoner exchange. The council chambers buzzed with agreement. Humans were a relatively new species to the galactic stage, having achieved faster-than-light travel only 3 centuries ago. Their small colonial presence in the outer rim systems made them seem insignificant compared to the ancient empires that dominated known space. Marcus sat in his containment cell, a simple transparent cube suspended in the center of a security chamber. He had been there for 6 standard days, fed adequately, treated with the clinical detachment the Zephyrians showed all lesser species. He spent his time sketching engineering diagrams in the condensation on the walls, a habit that puzzled his guards. "What is the human doing?" asked Guard Captain Thymos, watching the security feeds. "Creating primitive art," his subordinate replied dismissively. Typical behavior for an underdeveloped mind under stress. What they didn't understand was that Marcus wasn't drawing art. He was calculating orbital mechanics, fuel consumption, rates, and defensive positions. Because Marcus Chen wasn't just any engineer, he was the son of Admiral Sarah Chen and the nephew of Earth's defense secretary. More importantly, he had been working on classified propulsion systems that Earth couldn't afford to lose to alien hands. On the 7th day, the first Earth vessels arrived. The Zephyrian patrol ship Claw of Victory detected them at the edge of the system. 3 human destroyers moving fast and broadcasting diplomatic frequencies. Commander Vextal wasn't concerned. 3 ships against the entire Zephyrian Third Fleet was mathematical suicide. "They've come to negotiate," he told the High Council. "As expected, we shall demand significant concessions for their engineer's return." The human fleet stopped at the diplomatic boundary and requested permission to send an envoy. The Zephyrians agreed, confident in their position. Captain Elena Rodriguez materialized on the command deck via transport beam, her Earth Navy uniform crisp and her expression unreadable. She was escorted by 2 Zephyrian guards to the council chambers, where the species leadership waited with practiced arrogance. "We demand the immediate release of Marcus Chen," Rodriguez stated without preamble. "Demands?" Counselor Velmore's chittering translated as laughter. "You are in no position to make demands, human. Your engineer violated our space. We are prepared to discuss terms for his release, but those terms will be substantial." Rodriguez reached into her jacket and produced a small device. "Before we discuss terms, I think you should see this." The holographic display activated, showing the outer system. Where there had been empty space now showed a sight that made the Zephyrian Council fall silent. Ships. Hundreds of them. Thousands. The entire Earth defense fleet hung at the edge of the system like a metallic storm front. Carriers the size of small moons bristling with fighters. Battleships that dwarfed anything in the Zephyrian arsenal. And behind them, barely visible but unmistakably massive, the orbital platforms that had been towed from Earth's defensive grid. "You took one human prisoner," Rodriguez said quietly. "Earth came marching for millions." Commander Vexital's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation. "This is impossible. Intelligence reports indicated humans possessed fewer than 200 vessels capable of long-range deployment. Intelligence reports can be incomplete," Rodriguez replied. "Did your intelligence tell you that humans don't abandon their own? Did it mention that we've been building ships in preparation for this exact scenario for the past 50 years? Did it explain that we've learned from every species we've encountered, adapted their best technologies, and improved upon them?" The hologram zoomed in on one of the massive carriers. Launch bays were opening, disgorging clouds of fighters like angry insects. "Every human colony has contributed to this fleet," Rodriguez continued. "Every orbital platform, every hidden shipyard, every prototype that your spies thought was just theoretical research. We didn't announce our capability because we didn't need to. Until now." Counselor Velmore leaned forward. Surely you don't intend to start a war over one individual. Rodriguez's smile was cold. Counselor, we already did. The question is whether you want this war to last 5 minutes or 5 years, because I guarantee you we're not leaving without Marcus Chen. The tactical displays in the council chambers came alive as Zephyrian ships moved to intercept. The Third Fleet was impressive, 200 vessels, battle-tested and well-armed. But as they approached the human formation, the scale became apparent. They looked like minnows approaching a pod of whales. We outnumber you, Vextal insisted, though his voice carried less certainty. You outnumber our advanced scouts, Rodriguez corrected. The main fleet is still arriving. As if summoned by her words, space shimmered, and more ships translated from hyperspace. Vessels of designs the Zephyrians had never seen, bearing the insignias of human colonies from across the galaxy. Mining ships converted to combat platforms. Exploration vessels bristling with retrofitted weapons. Even civilian transports that had been turned into troop carriers. But it was the last arrival that made the Council truly understand their situation. The Yamamoto, Earth's flagship dreadnought, emerged from hyperspace like a metal mountain. Its weapons batteries could reduce planets to molten slag, and its fighter complement exceeded the entire Zephyrian Third Fleet. You see, Rodriguez said, her voice carrying across the suddenly quiet council chamber, humans learned something important when we first reached the stars. We learned that the galaxy can be a dangerous place, full of species that see newcomers as either threats or opportunities. So we prepared. She gestured to the holographic armada. Every ship you see represents humanity's answer to a simple question. What happens when someone threatens our people? You're looking at the answer. In his cell, Marcus Chen had stopped, sketching. He could feel the subtle vibrations in the station's hull as defensive systems powered up. He smiled, recognizing the harmonic frequencies of human shield generators. His family had come for him, just as he'd known they would. The Zephyrian High Council convened an emergency session for exactly 4 minutes. When they returned, Counselor Velmore's posture showed complete submission. The human Marcus Chen will be released immediately, with our apologies for the misunderstanding. Rodriguez nodded. Wise choice. Oh, and Counselor, Earth will be establishing a permanent diplomatic presence in this sector to prevent future misunderstandings. As Marcus Chen was escorted to the transport bay, he looked back at his guards one final time. You might want to update your intelligence reports, he said cheerfully. When humans say no one gets left behind, we mean it literally. The human fleet departed as suddenly as it had arrived, leaving the Zephyrians to contemplate a new reality. In the galaxy's political calculations, humanity had just announced itself not as a minor colonial power, but as a force that could reshape the balance of power with a single demonstration. And they had done it all for one engineer who happened to be someone's son. Word spread quickly through the galactic networks. Earth's children were under Earth's protection, and that protection had teeth that could devour worlds. The age of VO. Humanity as a minor player was over. The age of humanity as a superpower had begun,